I'm Adrienne, your sex positive bestie, here for sexy talk, real stories, and tips that just hit. Ready to play? Let's go. Do you want to play a game? Let's play Where Are They Now? 5 years of midlife craving, which is just so insane to say. I have definitely surrounded myself with quite the cast of characters. And today, I'm going to be spilling the tea. I'm going to give you updates on previous guests. And there's definitely some stories that I've been wanting to talk to you about. But remember, like, these are real lives. And in the moment, you know, like when things happen, I wanted to come down here and press record and be like, you won't believe this shit. I pride myself on not bashing or, you know, talking shit. But the thing is this is my truth. Like, these are things that happened. And so I can speak on them. All right. I wrote no notes for the show. I just made a list of all the people that have been on the show that I've had, you know, updates about. And so we're going to get right into that. But I have big news. And if you hear any noise in the background, Mr. Wright and I adopted a dog this past weekend. We had been doing some research and we visited him a week ago and we really, really loved him. He is a little rough around the edges. He was a stray and he's been in the shelter since October. So this poor little baby was there and we had gone back and forth about, you know, should we buy a dog, get a new dog? And I just knew, like, from the beginning. And remember, like, I haven't really had animals in my life, but I knew rescuing was the way to go. And when we met Humphrey, he is like the sweetest boy in the world. He's sitting so sweet by my feet. I knew it was meant to be. Number one, I just fell in love with his face as soon as I saw him. And something kind of cool is that my dad's company had the name Humphrey in it. And I felt like it was just meant to be. So he is just really sweet. So we've had him since Saturday. He's been really good. He has not barked. He's fully potty trained, which is amazing. The first night was definitely a little rough because he was, you know, getting used to the space. And he is very, very attached to me. And he liked to growl at Mr. Wright a little bit. But just in 3 short days, it's gotten incredibly better. And he's just nothing but a love bug. He loves to play with his toys, like the energy that this boy has. He loves to play with them and then roll around, and it's the cutest thing ever. He also, when he comes up to you to give you, you know, to give you some attention, he falls flat on his back and just loves some good belly rubs. He is definitely something that we needed in our fam after losing Max last year, and just to have a pup around the house again, it's been really fun. There's nothing better when you come home from work and he is just jumping all over the place. So excited to see you. So yeah, so new addition to our fam. And it was funny, like when me and Mr. Wright were there and signing the papers, I was like, ooh, this is our first time signing papers. Like there he is. Getting a dog with someone is a really big deal, right? But we were ready to make that step. And so you'll see a lot of him over on my Instagram at Midlife Craving, and just a big update in our household. Okay, so let's talk about guests. Like I said, I just sat down and just wrote guests that just popped in my head and people in my life that popped in my head where I was like, oh, I have an update for them, or I have thoughts about this, whatever. So let's just get right to it. This is in no particular order, by the way. And I'm definitely spilling some tea. I am definitely oversharing a few things, but you know what? It's been years and you guys deserve to know the truth about things, and fuck it. Like, shit happens and whatever. It was fun. Okay, so let's talk about Dr. B. I met Dr. B on Field app, and he was a lot of fun. He was a really good friends with benefit for me. The one thing I will say is that I felt like he was really fun to hang out with and fuck, but then I don't know. I was always, like, after we fucked, I was always like, okay, see you later. And I remember he was like, hey, like, you want to come over and watch a movie and eat pizza? And I was like, ugh, like, I just wasn't in a place to be really feeling that. And then he was moving. And so it was kind of a weird situation there. But he was absolutely dreamy, handsome as hell. You know, we broke in the sex swing for the first time together and we had some incredible sessions. Like, let me tell you. But I think he got, and he knew about Baywatch. That was when I was seeing him and Baywatch. Something that happened though is when I met Kat+Ams and went to the lifestyle party, he was really upset with me about why I didn't invite him to the party and I was bringing Baywatch. And so that definitely was a point of contention. And I actually never saw him again after that because he got kind of emotional about it. And I was like, hey, like, this is not like, we're not in a relationship. I don't have to run my life by you. I chose to bring Baywatch just because I had known Baywatch longer. I felt safer and more comfortable with him. Not that I didn't feel safe with Dr. B, but I didn't really know him that long, just a few months, right? And so that is how that cookie crumbled. He ended up moving to Florida, and I hope he is doing extremely well. He has an amazing cock and knows how to fuck, so I'm sure he's doing just great. Okay. Let's talk about Hawt Dog. He was on the show. He is such a gem. I met him on Tinder. I can't remember. I was on so many apps back in the day. And I'll never forget the first time I met him. And he was just so much fun. And he didn't have a license. And he was like, yeah, I don't care. And he was like, I got pulled over on the way in here. And he was just like living on the edge. And I just knew, I was like, you know what? Yeah, you're going to come home with me. And I remember he pulled up in front of my house. All of his windows were down and he was blasting music and he had sunglasses on. And he was like, hey girl, what's your name is? Hawt Dog was nothing but a ton of fun. If you listen to our episode, you can hear it, right? We play a fun little sex game. Like, go listen to that. He was awesome. And we had some really great times together. But it was just hanging out, good vibes, and having fun, having sex. There was never really any like relationship going on. And when I met Mr. Right, I mean, we had kind of like distanced and just didn't have the time. Like I was going through a lot. He was going through a lot. We kind of distanced ourselves. And when I met Mr. Right, like he had reached out to me and he was like, hey girl, I would love to see you. And I was like, oh, I met somebody. And it was so cute because he was like, no, he was like, if I don't get to fuck you again, come on, like one more time. And I was like, I'm sorry. Hawt Dog is someone that will always have a special place in my heart. He is such a good dude. And I hope he finds everything that he deserves. He's a gem and just a really good guy. So I hope he's doing really well. I haven't talked to him since I told him that, I was going to see what happened with Mr. Right. And he totally respected it. And he was just so cute about it. And he was like, I'm really happy for you. He's like, invite me to the wedding. So that's what he's up to. Let's talk about Baywatch. Someone who brought me back to life in one of the lowest points ever, right? I had just broken up with Prince Charming. Oh boy. Humphrey got into my amazing fellatio playing cards. So they're all over the floor right now. Oh shit. Okay. So Baywatch, I met him right when I was breaking up with Prince Charming and I was doing my 60-day no-D diet. And fresh off of that, we met up and immediately just connected. What I loved about Baywatch is that it was about having fun, spending time. Oh, he has something in his mouth. Please hold. No. Okay. My God. Hold on. No, baby. You don't eat that. Nope. Okay. All right. He made quite the mess down there. Okay. Anyways, and he taught me how to have fun again, how to let loose, how to have just, I don't know, like it was just so great. He would spend weekends with me. He met all my friends and he was just such an amazing influence for me and building my confidence and letting myself go and just really living again after everything I had been through. And so, Baywatch, just if you listen to the episodes, I took him to my very first lifestyle party. He was there for me, and just an incredible friend, awesome fuck. And I just, he will always, I just want nothing but the best for him. I've talked about him so much on the show. And he ended up moving to Australia and I believe he got married. So I'm just over the moon. I actually told him, I was like, I just want to see your beautiful babies and I'm just so happy for you and wish him nothing but the best. Okay. Let me scratch this off. Hold on. Dr. B, Hawt Dog, Baywatch. Let's talk about Karissa. So I had Karissa on the show, I think twice, and you guys saw a lot of her on my social media. Me and her were kind of like single moms, summer and fucking shit up, if you will. I think one of the episodes is called Thunder and Lightning. And it's like, we were a lot of energy together. I partied with her, and we had a ton of mutual friends, and we loved hanging out at our local dive, but I didn't really know her that well, to be real with you. And we just, we partied and had fun, but I didn't really know her. But my cousin had invited me to go to New York, and he was like, hey, come up, visit. And I was like, oh man, that sounds so awesome. Like, yeah, I booked a room. And last minute, I was like, Karissa, do you want to come? Like, you should come. Like, we'll have a good time. And she was like, yeah. Slowly, as our friendship developed, I kind of noticed that there was something going on with her, right? I didn't know if it was like a drinking problem, or I didn't really know, but I hadn't seen any major red flags yet. So I was like, yeah, let's go. So the train ride up was fun. We were having a great time. We get to my cousin's place, this beautiful penthouse on the Upper East Side. My God, we're listening to, EDM and on the patio that overlooks the Hudson River, all of Lower Manhattan. I mean, it's just incredible. We're having an amazing time. And I noticed she was like just acting really like erratic almost. And there was some things that were going on inside that I didn't know about. And she had partaken in them, if you will. And this is when things started to get hairy. So we ended up going to the Mirage over in Brooklyn. And this was like a last minute decision. And we went there and the shit just went down. Okay. So we go, and mind you, my cousins, like, we're with all of my cousins' friends. We're hanging out. They graciously, roped us in. We're partying, crashed their party at the concert. And long story short, she comes up to me and she looks like she's sweating. Her eyes are like completely bloodshot. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening to you? And my cousin, like, she has a bag in her pocket. And he's like, what the fuck is this? And she was like, it's Coke. And I'm like, what? And my cousin was like, no, I think that's ketamine. So she had like randomly bought drugs from some dude at the Mirage. I'm really putting her business in the streets, but I don't care. It was too much. And my cousin was like, you need to get her out of here. He was like, what the fuck? I remember it was a really awkward ride back to Manhattan. We crashed. We ended up not even checking in at the hotel because it was just so hard to like corral her. I took her to a diner, like got some food in her, because I was thinking to myself, like, you are fucking putting me in a bad position. You are doing dumb shit that I didn't know about. And now what happens when that happens to you when you're hanging out with me that I have no idea about? Like, I mean, I was fucking furious. And like, that's just not something that I want to be around. And we took the train ride home. I mean, it was the longest train ride home. Oh my God. I remember I was just like, oh my God, like, please just get me home. I pulled up to her house and I was just like, see you later, Karissa. And I knew like that was the last time I was ever going to see her, talk to her, be around her. I think I bumped into her, but we didn't say anything one time at the local dive bar after, but I haven't seen her since. And yeah, so that was just a really interesting thing. So and like, I wanted to come and tell you guys, like, oh my God, you won't believe what fucking happened this weekend. Like, what the hell? Like, I didn't know that she did stuff like that and would do something like that. It just, risky behavior, I am adverse to. I'm not a fan of it. I don't want to be around it. And so yeah, that was a quick little friendship that was cut short. Okay, let's talk about Lauren. Lauren was someone that I had originally on like the 4th episode. She reached out to me. We had a mutual friend and she was like, I want to be on your show. At that point, so early in Midlife Craving, I was like, I want to have a co-host. I always had this dream of having a co-host, right? And even before we recorded the first episode, she was like, it's going to be too much work. I can't do it. And I'm like, okay, no problem. Like, cool. Well, then she reached out to me again and was like, hey, like, I'm so sorry. I was going through a bunch of shit in my life, and stupid Adrienne, who doesn't learn lessons at that time in her life. I was like, yeah, sure. You can come back on. We could talk. And then we decided to do like this spinoff show called Two Hot MILFs and a Microphone. And she was like, yes, like, this is easy because we can record conversations. And the show was actually a really cool idea. It was like eavesdropping on our conversations. I had all the sounds, everything ready to go. And I was like, super excited about it. Mind you, I'm doing all the work. Like, all she has to do is have a phone call conversation with me. And I was like, we could do this, right? I was fronting all the fees. Again, I was dumb back then. And like 2 days later, after we did like a couple of episodes, a couple of phone calls, she messages me and she's like, well, I was like, hey, do you want to schedule a call for this weekend or whatever? And she never responded. I'm like, hey, like if we're going to drop an episode this week, like we need to talk. And she was like, I can't do this. And fucking blocked me everywhere on social media, on Facebook, like blocked my number, I think. I don't know. And I was like, what the fuck? Like I didn't, like you could have just been like, hey girl, too much. I thought I was going to be able to do this. I'm not, like whatever. And then all of a sudden she just like totally blocked me from her life. I don't know what that was about. To this day, I still don't know. 3 years later, I will never, and I mean fucking ever, entertain the idea of a co-host again. If you were thinking of starting a podcast and you want to have a co-host, be real sure that it is both your baby, right? And you are both so all in. There's no hesitation whatsoever. And you are willing to put in the work. People think a podcast is just you come and talk on a microphone and then it magically appears on the internet. That's not how that goes down. There's a lot of work, a lot of planning, a lot of time and energy that is involved. And, you know, it's just never again. It's funny that I say that though, but this was a little different let's talk about Amanda. When I met Amanda, I instantly fell in love with her. I love her vibe. I love her energy. I love how open she is. I just adored her. And she was like all in with me. And I was like, yes, let's do Ask Double A. I was really looking forward to putting the show on every week. And I thought it was a great way to break up like the Midlife Craving episodes and to have like a Q&A, right? And it was a really good idea. And we were doing awesome and having so much fun together. And she would come over and I feel like our banter was so great. And then my dad got sick and, you know, my life started to fall apart. And I told her, I said, I got to take a little break. And I was like, I can't meet this week. And to be real, I definitely was just, I was preoccupied, rightfully so. She was super supportive about it. But when I was ready to come back, like, I don't know, a couple months later, I reached out to her and I was like, hey, do you want to record? And like, she was like, I was away this week and I didn't see her messages. I'm like, cool. Like, let me know. And then, I was like, hey, do you want to record? You know, and then she just never responded. And I'm like, like I loved her so much. Like, I mean, I'm still friends with her on social media and stuff, but we just kind of didn't record ever again. I wish her nothing but the best. I adore her. I think she's awesome. And it was so fun. The Ask Double A episodes were great. But yeah, that's what happened. A lot of you have been reaching out to me like, where's Amanda? How come you don't record with Amanda anymore? And it was just, I think time and distance. She was just like not interested anymore. I wish she would have said that, but you know, what can you do? Okay. Let's talk about Mr. July. I just wanted to give you a quick update and to let you know, I never plan to, spoke with him again after I sent him that text message when I was like, you are dead to me. He had hurt me so many times and I stupidly fell for it like an idiot. And that anger that I had towards him for so long, and I don't anymore, my God. It was very real and that there's no going back. Some of you have been like, hey, did you ever hear from him? You ever talk to him again? And absolutely positively no. I learned a big lesson with him. And the lesson there is you do not ever allow bad behavior. You don't listen to words, you listen to actions. And I know my worth. He taught me my worth. If you listen to the episode, Remember Who the Fuck You Are, I think it's like 40 something. It's really, really good because, and you can almost hear me like evolve. And I'm like, I'm not ever falling for this shit again. And I never did. And so I think he's with his wife. I have no idea. See you later. Sayonara. Again. Goodbye. Okay. So that episode that I was talking about, Remember Who the Fuck You Are, was with my old good friend, Uncle Mo. Good friend at the time. And Uncle Mo has made many appearances on the show. He was a really good friend to me for quite a while over the last couple of years. He was a brother, to be honest with you. He was family. And I should have learned my lesson the first time when he got a girlfriend early in the show. I think in like 2021 he got a girlfriend, and he kind of just stopped talking to me. And I think I talked about it on the show, and I was like, what the fuck? He never came back on the show, but I think I told you guys, like, yeah, when he gets a girlfriend, like he distanced himself. And then when they broke up, he was like, I'm so sorry. I remember we went to happy hour and he was like, you didn't deserve that. And I was like, look, bro, like, we're fam. Like, I don't understand. Like, you know, I wanted to meet her. Like, it would have been great. And I personally think that he is insecure about our relationship. And so he didn't want her, whoever it was, to see that. And I don't know. So then let him back in my life. He was there for me and knew my dad. My dad really, really liked him. I remember my dad said, he's like, Adrian, like, what's up with him? Like, you know, he's a good guy. Like, I really like him. Like, and I was like, Dad, it's not like that. Like, it's, you know, we're really just straight up friends. And everyone thinks we fucked. Everyone thinks we never, ever, ever, not even close, like straight up platonic friends. Okay. There to support one another, be there for one another. And it was great. Like, seriously, like I really loved him as a friend. And like I said, he was a brother to me. And all of a sudden, so my dad got sick. Again, my life is upside down. He knew that was happening. At the very same time, he went on a cruise for his birthday and met another woman. And I was so happy for him. I remember he came home from the cruise and we went out to celebrate his birthday. And I was like, I am so happy for you. Like, he wanted nothing more than to be in a relationship. And I was like, oh my God, I'm thrilled for you. I can't wait to meet her. Little did I know, he kind of lied about a situation involving a car. So stupid. And I was like, why would you lie? Like, now, you know, now she thinks like our friendship now it has a lie involved in it. And that sounds shady. Like, even me, I'm like, what the fuck? Why would you do that? And the oddest thing happened. Okay. So, this all happened in 2020. Yes, 2024. My dad got sick in January. He met her in March, and then I met Mr. Right in July. And so it was like a combination. And like we just again, he got a girlfriend, never saw him again. Okay, so all fine and good, whatever. But in October, I remember Mr. Right and I were going over to do like a lifestyle party. It was like a Halloween party. That's what it was. And I wake up the next morning and I have like 30 messages and like missed calls from him at 2 a.m, 4 a.m. I'm like, oh my God. So I call him back. He doesn't answer. I send him a message and I'm like, hey, are you okay? Like, what's going on? And he responds and he's like, hey, he was like, I'm so sorry. He was like, you know, she doesn't believe that me and you were just friends. Mind you, this is months later, 6 months later. He's like, she doesn't believe that we were just friends. She has like this hang up about you. Can you please just tell her? And I responded back to him and I said, I absolutely am not getting involved. Like, this is fucking ridiculous. Right. And all I said was one sentence: you deserve better, period. Okay. And that's the truth. Like, that's insanity. Right. And it was funny because Mr. Right was like, and then I have to explain this, by the way, to my new boyfriend of like 2 fucking months. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? And of course, Mr. Right knows everything. And I don't have any fucking secrets in my relationship. So like, you know, everything was cool. But I told him, I swear to God, I was like, if she calls me again, or if I need to have a phone call, I'm going to tell her we fucked every day. I'm going to tell her how good you were, how you loved going down on me. I'm going to make shit up because at this point, this is so fucking ridiculous. I never talked to him again. So that was like a year and a half ago. I mean, that's just ridiculous, right? And I will tell you, it makes me sad. I know I'm talking shit right now, but it makes me fucking sad. Like, I really loved having him in my life. My daughter loved him. My family loved him. And it hurt really bad when he knew my dad passed and he didn't say shit. So I'm not going to ever forget that. There's no bad blood. I'm not going to be like rude, or if I see him in public, like, hey, how are you? You know, whatever. But I will never be friends. I will never let him back in. And I do honestly wish him, you know, I hope he finds all the happiness in the world. Zach would look at me right now and be like, fuck that. But I don't want to have, you know, I have to just keep moving forward. Hold on, let me check on my baby. Oh, he's being a good boy. Okay. So that's what went down with Uncle Mo. And so yeah, a lot going on. All right, let's talk about Kat+Ams, who are some of my favorite people in the whole entire world. So Kat+Ams, I met because of the show. Kat reached out to me when I was stuck in the Bahamas. God, there's so many episodes. Like if you're not an OG craver, there's a lot to listen to. And they introduced me to the lifestyle, welcomed me. I found my tribe with them. Open arms, like finally for the first time in my life, I found other people that were open and like me, right? And they're just the best. I do not believe they're going to podcast again, but I just saw Kat actually 2 weeks ago. I really want to have them back on the show with schedules, and they're so open to that, but with schedules and everything, it's really difficult, but I'm going to get them back in the studio this year. I promise. So much to talk about, and they are just as amazing in person as you've heard from them on the show. And I want to tell you, like, I'm lucky. I'm very, very lucky to have them in my life, to have that amount of love in my life. And yeah, they're amazing, doing really well. I still see them and I just adore them with all my heart. All right, let me scratch this one off. Goodbye. Okay. Let's talk about, oh God, I cannot believe I'm going to share this, but I'm talking all this shit. No, I'm not talking shit. I'm sharing about others, right? I'm going to share a little dirt on me. So, okay, let's talk about Big Bald Dude. I met him on TikTok. I had him on the show because he told me, he was like, Adrian, I broke my cock. And I was like, oh my God, we have to talk about this. And he was hilarious with like getting back into the dating scene and how, the hoe phase and all these crazy, it's a lot going through all of this in life. And he was awesome. He had a really long drive to get here. And I remember he met Karissa that night too. And we recorded. It was so much fun. We ended up going out. We were shotgunning beers. We were making TikToks. Like, there was a lot going on. And I got a little tipsy. I drank Jameson. Okay. Jameson and me don't do well together. That's what got me in trouble with Mr. July in the beginning. Jameson does this crazy thing where my pants just come off. It's like so odd. Okay. Long story short, we Ubered home, came back to my place, and next thing I know, I'm like bent over my couch in the living room and we're having sex. Like, I was like, oh my God, like, oh my fucking God, like this is happening. Like, and I feel so bad because I think I had said to him, like, I was like, oh my God, like I shouldn't have done that. This shouldn't have happened. And that is like the worst thing you can say to somebody. And he was such a gentleman and so sweet and kind and caring and amazing. And I felt so bad. I actually called him the next day and I was like, I am really sorry. He was like the first guy. Yeah, I actually, okay, confession. I actually broke my 60-day diet 2 days early with him. Okay. And so, yeah, that went down. And I told him, I was like, look, I'm just really trying to, heal and find myself. I did not mean anything by that, by saying like, I wish I wouldn't have done that. And so, yeah, but he's good. I think he's doing awesome. I haven't seen much of him on TikTok, but he's a cool dude. And yeah, oh my God, the first guest I fucked. Oh God. Okay. Let's talk about Youngblood. I've talked a lot about him on the show. He was someone I spent a lot of time with over, let me think, 2023. Yeah. 2023, 2024. He's a young guy. He has a really big heart. He's still like in like the circle. Like I still see him every now and again. It's funny because the first time Mr. Right met him, he was like, what's going on with him? Like there's something going on there. And I was like, shit. So I was like, yeah, we kind of have been like fuck buddies for like 2 years. And he was like, oh, okay. And yeah, so it's funny. But yeah, I think he's doing really well. He's such a good man. I wish him nothing but the best. I see him every now and again at the bar, and he's doing good. So, will him and Mr. Right be friends? I don't think so, but that's how that went down. I met Mr. Right, and then that was it. Okay, where is my Dom? Oh, my Dom. He is, I believe, still active in the lifestyle, and I hope living his very best life. I had a lot of amazing memories with him. He introduced me to things I never in a million years thought I would do. Really taught me about being a brat and being trained. And I still have my collar in the drawer that he gave me. And I had such a fun time with him. I told him, I was like, I really want you to meet him. I told Mr. Wright, I was like, I really want you to meet him just because and that's like my dream threesome. Mr. Wright, my dom, and me. Oh, like that would be the most incredible MFM ever. But I haven't heard from him. Everybody kind of, they really respect the fact that I'm in a relationship now. Like that's the thing in the lifestyle, the boundaries are so fucking clear. No one oversteps them. It's nothing but respect. And so, yeah, I haven't talked to him, but I hope he's doing amazingly well. Okay. Many of you have asked me about Daddy Nate. Daddy Nate is on, I forget, episode 50 something. I can't remember, but he was awesome. He got really wildly popular on TikTok and he had a podcast called Let's Shag and it was awesome. I think he had like a really bad breakup and then there was like, I don't know what was going on, but he kind of was like, I'm done. Like, and I get it, right? Like life happens and you have this show and your life is online and it could be really fucking hard. I don't know how he's doing. I haven't followed him or seen. So he was a really cool dude and I loved his tips. He was so much fun to talk to. But I haven't talked to him since in a really long time. The local in the Bahamas. So we'll talk about him. I saw him. The last time I saw him was in the Bahamas with Katina 2-3 years ago. And yeah, he seems to be doing really well. He's an amazing father. And I haven't talked to him either. I hope he's doing really, really well. Yeah, so that's like most of the guests. The guests and people in my life that will be back on the show is Zach, of course. And oh my God, I am really hoping that when he comes back, he actually opens up. Like, I'm going to be real with you. On the last time he was on the show, he was like, I can't talk about this. I can't talk about that. And I was like, Zach, you're here to fucking talk about that. And he's like, I know, but my husband's going to get upset. And I was like, fuck. And he wasn't the real Zach. And I don't know if you can hear it on the show, but I definitely knew. And so Zach is going to be back and I'm really hoping he can just let it rip because his life has changed a lot. I want to have her back on the show. Not going to put her business in the streets, but she seems to be extremely happy and I'm so thrilled for her. No one deserves an amazing love and everything more than her. I really, really hope that she can come back and talk about it. I want to hear her story and what she's up to. So hopefully have her back on soon. And let me see, what else I got? Oh, Mia. I just celebrated her birthday 2 weeks ago with her. She's amazing. I want to spend more time with her. I miss her so much. I want one-on-one date. I need to see her. I want to hang out with her. I want to be with her. And so, yeah, I'm hoping, I think she'll be back and we'll chat and talk. And then also, Katina, I talk about her all the time. She hasn't been on the show in like 50, 70 episodes. She needs to get back in here. But she is my ride or die best friend through and through. I'm so lucky to have her in my life. And so, yeah, she's doing awesome. And we see her and spend time with her all the time. And so she's doing really, really well. So a lot of tea. Hot gossip. And I'm glad that I can finally like wrap up because some of you have reached out. You're like, where's Amanda? Where's Karissa? Where's Uncle Mo? And like, those are the stories. Like, that's really what happened. And yeah, so now I'll just say, go to this episode and that's where they are now. I am excited to see what the future holds and who I'll meet next. I am actually recording this weekend with Becky. She is in the lifestyle and she has a totally different perspective on it and how she parties and who she plays with. And I can't wait to read to you her rules that she shared with me when she hosts a party. Like, I love learning the different facets and groups in the lifestyle. It's fascinating to me. And so I'm very excited about that. So she will be on the next episode, hopefully. Like, the weather goes away and we don't have all this crazy snow and nothing, makes it postponed. But yeah, so I would love to have her be on the next episode. Otherwise, I don't know. We'll figure something out. Something will come up and I'll have something to talk about. But cheers, Cravers. And if you have been listening to me for 5 years and this cast of characters and you've been with me through it all, I love you so much. Thanks for being with me, and let's see what the next 5 years holds.